Hi everyone and welcome to this video where we will be discussing Learning Objective 2-2, and in this learning objective we are describing the fundamental principle of responsibilities and how this principle relates to the characteristics and qualifications of auditors. So as an overview, right, the responsibilities principle addresses the personal integrity and professional qualifications required of auditors. And if you remember, the three broad responsibilities were, the three broad standards, the three fundamental principles of the auditing standards are responsibilities, performance, and reporting. Responsibilities have to do with whether or not the person doing the audit is capable and appropriately independent to perform those services. Performance is about how you actually perform your procedures and how you document evidence and how you reach conclusions. While the last principle here, reporting, deals with how you communicate the results of what you did. Right, so we're focusing now and we're diving deep into the responsibilities principle. And so really what we're concerned about here is integrity and professional qualifications. The responsibilities principle mandates that the auditor must demonstrate appropriate competence and capabilities, adhere to ethical requirements, and maintain professional skepticism and judgment throughout the audit process. So auditors are responsible for having appropriate competence and capabilities to perform the audit. They're required to or responsible for complying with relevant ethical requirements and then also maintaining professional skepticism. Competence and capabilities. So auditors are expected to hold themselves out as experts in accounting and auditing. Competence begins with formal education in accounting and auditing principles. CPAs are also required to engage in what's called continuing professional education, CPE, and this is required throughout the auditor's career. If you are a CPA, every 2-year period, you're required to take 80 hours of continuing professional education. Hands-on experience is important to develop professional judgment in real-world scenarios. And the qualifications ensure that auditors can assess the fairness of financial statements and comply with the frameworks. So if we think about the audit as a whole and the stages of the audit, this process of auditing runs from engagement acceptance, so agreeing to do an audit engagement with the client. And once that has been agreed upon, we plan the audit, we assess risks, we document evidence, and then we report our results. So really, when we talk about the responsibilities principle, we're talking about things that are considered during the pre-engagement phase. So the decision whether or not to accept a client as an audit client, that's the time when we want to be thinking about, are we meeting what is set out in the responsibilities principle? Are we competent enough? Do we have the expertise to do this audit engagement? And are we independent? Independence is vital for performing external audit work. And the independence standard here says that auditors must be unbiased in both fact and appearance. So, even though we might on paper be independent, if we have the appearance to the public that we're not independent, that becomes an issue for us as well. Due care requires us to do enough work so that we can, somebody else that is maybe familiar with the audit profession can come in and see the evidence that we documented and based on that evidence reach a similar conclusion that we reached. And again, professional skepticism and judgment are really important throughout the audit process. All right, well, in this video, we discussed the fundamental principle of responsibilities and how this principle relates to the characteristics and qualifications of auditors. I appreciate you watching. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.